Hello, my Belfast Thousand Nation. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone's having a great day. If not, I hope it gets better from here. We are back with another That Chapter. This one is titled, When a Jealous Sister Does the Unthinkable. Unthinkable. Alright. I'm excited to get into today's video. You know I likes me a good old That Chapter. Alright, I'm excited to get into today's video. Hopefully you guys are excited as I am. If you are, please go down there. No, that's not. What the fuck? Did I go stupid? If you guys are excited as I am, please go ahead, turn them lights down low, put on something comfy, cup of something special. Let's get concerned. Ooh, that's still going. Oh yeah. We'll let it play. Whoop. There we go. Better.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike, and in this whole video,
Hi, Mike.
to set the scene, well, the scene it's Virginia, and the scene is a scene we've seen before, but god dang, it's a doozy. On the outskirts of the district of Columbia, not far from Arlington, lies a little place by the name of Maclean. Though the way it's spelled, that would make me think it's Maclean. By day, McDirty by night. There lived the Hargan family, and when things got, McDirty, a call was made to the relevant authorities, a call which came from over 1,000 miles away, alerting them to what was going down in Maclean. When they arrived, well...
John Maclean. Die hard.
As always, nothing was as it seemed. But is it ever?
Yes, no.
So let's give it a go.
Let's give it a go. Oh, Mike! What are we getting into? Oh, the family drama, you know it's going to be bad.
Maclean lies on the banks of the Potomac River, and it's not really a town, it's an unincorporated community. An unincorporated community of very rich people. I'm talking diplomats, senators, high-ranking military boyos, all those people who... all those
1%ers.
Those big shots who work in, like, those big government things. That's them. I'm talking Pentagon, contractors, FBI. Who's that? I don't know. Some weird acronym? God only knows. So with that kind of clientele, the shops in Maclean cater to those kind of people with those kind of wallets. You won't find many bottom shelf bars, is what I mean. It's one of the wealthiest parts of the USA, with homes routinely costing over $1 with a lot of zeros. And there is where the Hargan family lived, on Dean Drive. In a home that, I mean, screw a pretty penny, this cost a, like, drop-dead gorgeous penny. It was worth over 1.3 million of your American dollars.
Fuck my ass.
That was the home of divorced single mom Pamela Hargan. In 2017, Pamela was 63 years of age, proud mother of 3 daughters. 37-year-old Megan Hargan, then there was Ashley in the middle, and then 23-year-old Helen Hargan. Her ex-husband and father of those daughters, Steve, he left about 20 years before our story begins, and he never returned. Pamela had worked all her life, worked in human resources, this being DC.
Like he never returned in a bad way, or just that
2 decades.
That happened.
Those
milk cigarettes never came back.
Resource themselves, and more recently.
Like I need to know, like did he get kind of never came back, or like, you know, milk, cigarettes, never came back. One, they both suck. They both suck. I like milk.
Recently, SAIC. What's that? I've no idea. It's just like one of those random acronyms. They're like defense contract. They make things go boom.
Fuck yeah.
But come the year 2017, Pamela
Tony Stark style, baby.
She'd earned her fun books. She had taken her kids all around the world. She herself was often away on business, and after busting her ass for a long time, it's about time for me time. Now, she lived in that big old house, but she didn't live there alone. Living with her was her oldest daughter, Megan, and Megan's daughter, Megan, had a 7-year-old of her own. Pamela was a grandmother. Megan and her daughter had been living with Pamela for some time. In fact, now Megan was actually married. She was married to a guy named Mike who lived in West Virginia, but they didn't live together. I'm kind of under the impression things weren't going so well. Megan, she was unemployed. She was having, a tough time, but she would later reconcile with I said she had a tough time. Look where she was living. She could do a hell of a lot worse. She was having a grand old time with her mother paying for everything because she had all the fun books. Well, maybe not paying for everything.
Uh-oh.
Helen Hargan, in the meantime, was living in Dallas, Texas, having just graduated from Southern Methodist University with a master's in operations research. Helen was, in fact, looking to follow in her mother's footsteps with,
That's awesome.
as she said in her resume, her career objective being a desire for a career as a consultant for defense contractors.
Okay.
Fair enough. Having graduated, Helen, she was planning on staying in Texas at least for the foreseeable future. She had a boyfriend-fiance there named Carlos. She was actually in the process of building her own house. In not far from Dallas. However, while she was waiting for that house to be built, Pamela, said to her, "Hey, listen, I got this big old house back in, here. Why don't you come? It's just me and Megan and the granddaughter. Come live with us up here. While we wait for your house to be built." Helen, she gave it a hearty hell yeah. So that was the situation over the summer of 2017. A situation that would dramatically change one July afternoon.
Like the 4th of July? Not before the fireworks.
Good morning. Thank you for calling Capital One Bank. Would you tell me your name, please?
Pamela Hansen Hargan.
What can I do for you today?
I was told that I could do a wire transfer.
Oh, you're ready to buy a house?
For my daughter, yes.
I understand you want to complete a wire transfer with us today?
Yes,
That
because
wire...
they need it today.
On the 13th of July, a call was made to Pamela Hargan's bank, asking them to transfer money for her. To transfer $429,000 to a company that was out of state to basically pay the costs for closing
$420,000?
Now, this was actually
Jesus.
somebody impersonating Pamela. And,
was it? No.
And as soon as she was alerted, she shut that shit down.
Hi, who am I speaking to?
Who am I speaking to?
My name is Jeff with Capital One.
Okay, this is Pamela Hansen Hargan.
Somebody tried to do a wire out of your account for $400,000 and some odd thousand.
What? I did not do that.
The very next day, which was Friday, the 14th of July 2017, so the following afternoon, this call was made.
Fairfax County Police and Fire, how may I assist you?
Shit.
Yes, I need an emergency. My girlfriend told me that her sister killed her mom, and now my girlfriend won't answer her phone, and so.
She said she killed her mom?
No, she said her sister killed her mom.
Girlfriend at home right now?
Well, that's the thing. She won't answer her phone, and I'm thinking maybe something bad happened to her too, because her sister's crazy.
Oh shit.
This was Helen's boyfriend all the way in Dallas, and he was the one who originally alerted the police.
Yeah.
Caller's third party.
I forget what his name was.
Called him and advised that her sister killed their mother. Caller lives in Dallas, Texas, and the girlfriend lives at above address 67018 Drive.
The ex-husband spoke to a daughter named Ashley an hour ago. So got a call from the original caller, Carlos in Texas, saying that
Carlos Mancina.
En route to the house from Maryland.
No one's answering the phone.
Oh man, they're all dead.
Frantic calls were then made between the various police
Everyone's
departments.
dead.
As you can hear,
It's awful.
police surrounded the place. They had no idea what was going on in there. Was there somebody armed with a gun ready to open up on them? They surrounded the place before eventually opening the door and venturing inside. Upon entering the house, Pamela was found in the laundry room. She'd been murdered by a gunshot wound to the head. Helen was also inside, the only other person in the house. She was in the upstairs bathroom, dead too of a gunshot wound to the head. In her arms lay a rifle. Upon initial inspection, as it sounds, the police believed that Helen, this bright young girl who had her, her whole career, life ahead of her, she had taken a rifle, murdered her mother, and then turned the gun on herself. Well, that's what the police said to the media, anyway, right away.
Yeah.
Because they felt that the scene did not match what it was supposed to be looking like, at all. The fact that the mother and daughter were found apart was unusual in, most of these murder-suicides, the bodies are together.
Yeah.
The rifle on Helen's body, it was odd. It was, Helen was not a big woman. How would she have, pulled the trigger? Also, the entry wound was on the top of Helen's head. Like, the wound went down her neck. So I don't know what kind of gymnastics she would have to do to point
some
a
Matrix shit,
rifle
bro,
at the top of her head and pull it some weird... She must have... You would need some kind of Rube Goldberg machine to do that, because I can't think of any way a person could do that to themselves. While they were telling the press, this was a murder-suicide, a daughter, she shot her mother and then herself. Behind the scenes, behind closed doors, they were saying something very different, and the medical examiner was telling the investigators
it's murder.
Neither of them did this to themselves.
It's not murder-suicide, it's
found dead
murder.
Inside this $1 million home, a woman kills her mother and then turns the gun on herself.
Jeez, dude, you are loud.
At this point, haven't released a motive. Why a daughter walked into her mother's house and opened fire.
Nothing was matching what they would usually expect to find in these situations. They also found that gunshot residue from Helen's head wound showed that the gun, the barrel of the gun was not pressed against her head when
The spread was
the trigger was
too
pulled.
big.
So if she had done it to herself, it wasn't possible, essentially. Long story short. Around Pamela's body also was found a number of spent shell casings, so whatever happened here was a hell of a lot more convoluted and complicated.
Shootout, the
than
OK
what
Corral.
somebody was trying to make it look like upon initial glance. They were hoping, hey, it looks like what it is.
Sounds
don't look
fucked
too
up.
much harder. But it was definitely staged. So it was quickly classified again behind closed doors as a double homicide. But then, the next step is, well, who could have come into the house? Who could have done this? There was no signs of any kind of forced entry,
Sounds like a nice
any kind of
neighborhood.
kerfuffle at all, really.
Bad things
So
used to
then
happen
they
in
began
nice
to think,
neighborhoods,
well,
though.
somebody who would have been there regardless. And that's what some people were saying in those 911 calls also.
It's fucking Santa
Girlfriend
Claus.
told me that her sister killed her mom.
To return to those 911 calls, when Carlos called the police in Maclean, he said that Helen had told him she had just seen her sister murder her mother, and now she was trying to run and hide from her. The confusion initially stemmed from, the person on the line saying their sister killed their mother. They thought that the sister who had killed the mother was Helen, that maybe it was Megan or Ashley was the one who was calling and reporting it in.
The ex-husband spoke to a daughter named Ashley an hour ago. So got a call from the original caller, Carlos in Texas.
No, not so. Carlos had a lot to say about that call, and basically that Helen had specifically said Megan had done it. Helen never saw her mother's body, but she knew what happened. Helen was on the phone talking to Carlos, saying Megan was there, her mother was dead, and that Megan was on the computer transferring money, and that not to call the police because Helen was worried that something might happen if the police arrived. And even Carlos was saying, leave the house, get out of there, get out of there. She just killed. Helen wouldn't leave because Megan's daughter was also there, her 7-year-old daughter, and Helen didn't want to leave her niece. After a while, the call ended. Helen wasn't picking up. Ultimately, Carlos
Oh my sweet
called the
Jesus.
police. Shortly after, Carlos received a text message from Helen's phone. Everything is fine. I'm not mad at Megan. So Megan, then, was the other sister who lived there with her daughter, and where was she claiming she was when it all went down?
Yeah, where's this little bitch at?
What happened? She got me the other punch shot from on the period seesaw. I'm really sorry.
This isn't real. This is not real.
Oh, it's real.
God, what are we gonna do?
Clean up the mess.
Well, at the time of the
Have a
murders, she said she
funeral.
was in Maryland and was
Pray
driving
to
back, rushing
Jesus.
back. You know, oh, my mother, my sister, rushing back from Maryland.
Oh, no.
Of course, distraught would be the word when Megan was told of what happened.
Jesus, what are we gonna do? I don't know. I just don't even understand. We were at the freaking house.
Megan would be interviewed by the police twice, 2 times. And, you know, she told the police that, well, guys, you know, to clue you in on what's really going on here, my sister, she was kind of a spoiled brat, you guys, and her and Ma'am, the Elwood, just didn't get on well at all. So, it's not surprising she would do something like this, go postal. I think she was also on the drugs, maybe the schnockta, maybe the H-dog, who knows what goes on.
Satan's dandruff.
Depressed. Like, to do this. Like, I can't. I can't. Helen has been so angry. Like, just so angry all the time. She wants nothing to do with the family. She just wants to be on her
Man,
own.
she is trying every way in the world to manipulate the shit out of this, ain't she?
Something had changed. This was not my sister. No, this was not Helen. This was
What do you mean? You mean,
just the person she's become. It's just not her
Yeah.
sister. She's...
And also, remember that Helen was building a new house in Texas?
Yeah.
Well, Pamela was the one footing the bill for that house.
This morning, my mom let Helen know that she was canceling the contract on the house she's building her because she truly believed that Helen was going to try to move Carlos into the house, and my mom didn't want him being there.
I mean,
Megan eventually moved away to West Virginia, I guess reconciling with her husband, and together they would live in Monongalia County. She would say that she had been there on the day, the 14th of July. She'd woke up and it was just another day in paradise. But Megan would also say one other thing, that Pamela was planning on giving Megan money to buy a house in West Virginia with Mike, her husband, who she was reconciling with.
My husband and I literally just closed on our new home yesterday.
Okay.
My mom bought it for us.
Pamela Hargan had an older sister, Tamara North, who, as the investigation began and the
Man,
police
this
were
is some
saying
fuck
murder
shit,
and
bruh.
self-murder, that no.
bitches
That
be
wasn't.
crazy,
It was
homie.
definitely Megan behind it. That Pamela never was giving Megan any money at all. Like, none of this was making sense. Helen and her mother, no, they were great. In fact, maybe Helen was the favorite daughter, and other people were not too happy about that. See, it emerged that Megan hated Helen, and she hated her mother also. She had become spiteful, she fought and disputed
Poor
often
Jan.
with her mother, with Helen, who was 14 years younger than Megan. Like, it was her baby sister. She'd helped raise her little sister, because their mother was away so often with work. She hated them. Maybe she was jealous. You know, her mother was a very successful woman, her sister was on the way to becoming a very successful woman, and Megan was not. The fights were also largely stemming from Pamela paying for Helen's newly constructed house in Dallas. And maybe, just maybe, Megan said to her mother, Pamela, well, hey, you know, you're paying for my sister's house down in Texas. You know, I want to buy a house in West Virginia. You know, cough it up, chompers.
This is a lot cheaper in West Virginia.
Piece of pie. Pamela declined, and so Megan got shot down.
We begin tonight with breaking news out of Fairfax County. What had first looked like a murder-suicide to police may actually turn out to be a double murder. WUSA
I told you from the
learned
beginning it
crime
was a
scene in
murder,
Westfield
murder.
Plain neighborhood
Why does
may
no
have
one
been
listen to
altered
me?
by the suspect.
The biggest giveaway was
Fuck
when the
you, I
police
don't
looked
care.
into bank
You ain't
statements
listening.
and logins on the day of the murders and the day before the murders. Someone had attempted to transfer money from Pamela's bank account to Megan's bank account.
I understand you want to complete a wire transfer with us today?
Yes,
That
because
wire-
they need it today.
around $420,000. She was unsuccessful, though she tried, and she attempted to guess her mother's password many times before giving up.
What? I did not do that.
You're trying to think right now, how am I going to talk my way out of this?
No, you think
Okay. Do we think we killed your mom? Absolutely. Yes.
Oh my God!
Absolutely, yes.
She
yes,
caught
it is.
you wiring on Friday. It's okay. Absolutely. Convince me that you didn't.
We have you.
No, I'm not kidding you. Not at all. She didn't approve this $418,000 transfer.
As I said, the day before, Pamela was even notified by the bank, hey, somebody's, moving money in your account, and Pamela said, shut this shit down. Be aware of fraudulent transactions and maybe people pretending to be me. Usually it's people pretending to be the bank.
So then at 12:09, your sister,
Jesus
Helen,
Christ.
calls Carlos and says, my sister just killed my mom and she's transferring money. And lo and behold, guess what? We find your voice on our bank line transferring money. It's true. We just listen. You just listen to it.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
So what? Explain. So all this looks like you killed your mom and sister. What you're not saying is no, I didn't kill them.
No, I said no, I didn't.
You did.
No, I said no, I didn't.
Okay.
I did not kill my mom and my sister. Period. I did not kill them.
You might want to ask for a lawyer now, but I'm just telling you, lady. Because you killed
For
them.
over a year,
You're
the
gonna need
police
a
kept
good
this
one.
to themselves as they continued investigating. Ultimately arresting Megan Hargan in November 2018 for the murders of her mother and her sister and staging it to look like Helen had done it. That she had one day snapped and killed out of rage and
Man, this
jealousy.
is fucking crazy,
Yes.
bro.
At the time, Megan had just $30 to her name. When she was arrested, she didn't look like she had slept much. I can't imagine she did after what she did.
Right.
Megan Hargan went on trial in 2022,
She looked
nearly 5 years after the 2 murders were committed. COVID delays coming in there, that's why there was such a long time. The trial lasted about 3 weeks, the prosecution going with, well, all the evidence
She
I
looked
went
like
through.
she had a
was
hard
jealous,
life,
she was
bruh.
bitter, and she wanted her mother to pay for her house. When she got shot down, she shot up.
I've believed from day one that she did it. I think it's about money. I think it's about hatred. I think it's about jealousy.
She says Pamela had bought the younger daughter, Helen, a house that she was about to move into before she and her mother were killed.
I expected to feel relieved, and after living in limbo for a year and a half,
I mean, that is kind of fucked up that she's willing to buy the one, but we don't know the situation either. You know what I mean? We don't know the situation. Because the lady kind of looks, a little druggy. You know what I mean? Maybe mama just don't want to support that shit.
and I don't feel relieved. I feel sick.
The defense sticking with the original story. Helen had done it, and she had done it all. Megan pleaded not guilty on the 2 counts, but at the end, the jury thought otherwise. They recommended she be given 2 sentences of life in prison. Megan Hargan was officially sentenced at the end of October.
Hell yeah. She
Life
get
in
in the
prison
boom boom
for
hole too,
Megan
bruh.
Hargan and the lives she took. And so ends the story of the Hargan family. A story of greed, of jealousy, of spite.
Man, so many people going to prison, getting in the booty for the rest of their lives. Love it. Alright, I really enjoyed today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video as much as I did. If you did, please go down there and leave a thumbs up. It really does help the channel grow. While you're down there, if you want, go on over, slap the subscribe button, become part of the B5 Nation. We do some crazy stuff here. If you want to know when that crazy stuff happens, ding that bell and turn on all notifications. As always, be good to one another. I'll see you in the next one. You know something? I keep forgetting to do this. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Man, I'm fucking stupid. I'll learn. I promise one day I will be a good YouTuber. I just